pretty much all your faces, but just in case anyone newly declared ECSE, my name is Kraft, and I am the Hub Advisor for Electrical and Computer Systems Engineering. So just to quickly run down what we're going to do today, basically the purpose of this event, if you have any friends outside of the School of Engineering, you might have heard about them going to Meet Your Advisor Day in the fall, and this is our version of that, and basically the reason we do it in the spring was you guys will be transitioning to your faculty advisors starting next year. So A, we wanted it to be a little bit closer in the time where you would actually start working with them. And B, Meet Your Advisor Day in the fall normally is like in that first week in a big classroom. You get a ton of information thrown at you. So we figured, why don't we bring it to our lounge, give you some snacks, make it a little more casual. So just to go through what you'll hear about today, I'm going to give you guys a couple updates and reminders for this semester. And then you're going to hear from Rama, who is going to be your staff advisor for sophomore through senior year. And then your faculty advisors will introduce themselves. Now, just so the faculty can kind of get a scope, it's okay if you don't remember, but in your email I told you who your faculty advisor was. So if you have Dr. Kraft, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, a couple, and I'm sure some of you might not have heard that part. And then if you have Dr. Huang, okay, and then Dr. Chow. Okay, Dr. Chow should be on his way, fingers crossed. So, all right, so just to kind of cover a couple quick things. First, we just wanted to kind of describe what the partnership is and the difference between hub advising and faculty advising. So for this semester, this is your last semester at the hub, so kind of we see our role as helping you work out the logistics. So what are the HOS requirements? What are all my major requirements? How does that fit into a 4-year plan, or for some of you, 3.5, 3, whatever that might look like. So we help nail down all those little details. We can help you start doing preliminary planning for Arch, obviously talk about different campus resources, and basically help set the foundation so you know what you need to do to graduate. It's our hope that by doing that, we set you up to be able to use your faculty advisors for some higher order questions, because while we're good at planning and logistics, we obviously in the hub are not engineers. So when it comes to these are my interests, what are the best technical electives to take, that's going to be a great question for your faculty advisor. If you're interested in research, if you want to know what companies might be good for internships based on your interests, they're going to know a lot more of that in-field detail better than we might in the hub. So it's our hope that by providing both types of help, you'll get a nice, well-rounded sense of your academic plan and feel prepared for what's to come. So just a couple quick updates, and then my component is over. So just a few things to keep in mind for this semester. First is that the drop deadline for any of your classes is going to be March 6th. So reminder that if you drop a class by March 6th, it wipes the slate clean. It doesn't look like it was ever on your transcript, all that. Now I will say if you're thinking of dropping something, probably talk to me first, because sometimes this is something that can be very low stakes and not a problem. But obviously if you drop a course that's an important prereq, like maybe if you're going to drop Cal 2 and you want to take DPQ in the fall, let's talk. You want to make sure you know what you're planning to do. Then also the pass no credit deadline is going to be April 10th. So very quick overview. It's basically RPI's version of pass-fail. This is a little limited in what courses you can use it on. You can do free electives and some of your HOS classes. There are some restrictions there, so again, you have to get a form signed anyway, so talk to me if you're planning to do this. But that's going to be April 10th. And then also, if you have not met with me this spring to talk about your fall schedule, you're going to want to do that before March 23rd. So every spring semester, you're going to have something called a SAM hold, which stands for Student Advisor Meeting. So basically, once a year, it's RPI's way of forcing you to check in with an advisor and make sure everything's on track for graduation. So once you meet, the hold is lifted and you're good for registration. The very first day of registration, so probably going to be seniors, but just in case, is March 23rd. So if you haven't met me yet this semester, just try to make an appointment to come in before then so we can get you all squared away. And then, as it says up there, registration will start March 23rd. It will be open through April 6th. You will be getting your time tickets in, I believe, the first week of March, so just keep an eye on your email for all of that. So that is the hub updates. So let's hand it over to Rama.
Okay. Hi. Should I stand?
Do whatever you want.
Okay. I'll stand because that feels somehow less awkward. All right. I'm Rama. I'm the undergraduate student coordinator for ECSE. I'm upstairs on the 6th floor, 6003. And I'm here for you basically to be your first contact. If you have any questions, I'm here to hopefully answer them or direct you to the person who does know the answer if it's not me. And I have an appointment system. The link is on the ECSE website too. It's the easiest way to kind of make an appointment or just drop by. So what I'm here for, I will actually put this on the bottom, but I'm not your faculty advisor. Kind of like we were saying earlier, I'm here to help you with logistics, planning out your schedule, including your ARCH schedule, any curriculum questions or Haas or math science core questions, checking if you're on track to graduate. I'm also here to help with that. If you have any questions about study abroad, transfer credit, your degree work looks funny, you want to make sure you're still on track, any registration questions, or if you need a form signed on behalf of the department, I'm the person to come to. But I'm not your faculty advisor. I cannot lift your samples. But I highly recommend you come meet with me before you meet with your faculty advisor to talk about your schedule, what you need moving forward, so that your meeting with your faculty advisor is more fruitful and you're kind of going into that meeting with something, right? With some classes to choose from, with an idea of where you're at. Yeah, but I'm here to support you alongside your faculty advisor, and I'm really excited to get to know all of you.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so Dr. Cha's not here yet, so this is a quick overview of the faculty advisors you'll be meeting today. So again, if you saw their names in their email, then names and faces are there. But we will give them each a bit of a chance to introduce themselves to you, tell you a bit about them, and then we'll have time for questions afterwards. So we'll just skip forward.
Oh, okay, yeah. My name is Rena Huang. I'm an associate professor from ECSE Electrical Computer System Engineering. My research focus is photonics. Okay, so if you're interested in that area, I would love to talk to you. Okay, so my email, my phone number was there, and also my picture, 10 years younger than right now. Okay, so anything else? My office, 6207, 6th floor, so basically CI building. Okay, so anything else you want me to talk about to introduce myself?
Let's see. I guess any information about kind of how you ended up at RPI?
How I ended up at RPI? Well, I did my graduate study at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. So I graduated in 2003 and spent a year doing postdoc. So then after that, I applied for jobs. Then RPI made me offer, so I come. So many people warned me, said, "Oh, Rena, you go there. It's really cold in winter. So how can you stand that?" Then I found out it's actually easier to stay here in Troy than compared to Atlanta, because here when it's cold, you can always put a layer of coat on. But I think Atlanta is hot, humid. Now even Michigan start probably from right now, from March, April, they have the pollen. God, I think it's very miserable to live there. So I like here way better. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything? Yeah, well, I think that's good for now, and students can definitely ask questions.
Yes,
Awesome.
feel free to ask your questions. Yeah.
All right, okay, great.
Guess that's me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Russ Kraft. I guess I have about 35 of you altogether, plus or minus. Every time I look at the list, it's got different names on it, so I guess there's some adjusting going on. I've been here for more than 30 years. It's a long time, but I've done a lot of different things. Right now, lately, I've been teaching and developing 4 or 5 classes that are from freshmen to seniors. I've done graduate classes in the past, but not right now. The course development, I like lab courses, I like hands-on stuff, and although a lot of times it's frustrating, but that's what engineering is, and the sooner you learn how to deal with those things, the better the engineer you'll become. I started out as, I knew in high school I wanted to be an engineer. I wasn't sure what engineering was, but I think engineers are born somehow. And my oldest brother was an electrical engineer, and he kind of teased me about some things, and I said, yeah, that's what I want to do. So and then I went through the whole process and never been sorry about anything. I've been around for a long time. Before computers, before calculators, we used slide rules and all that. So it's been a fun watching the progress, watching the technology develop, and watching all the new fields open up. And RPI is one of the best places to be, because we have people involved in all different areas, and if you have an interest, we can find somebody that will help you get through that. One of the side issues, I do a lot of support work for the ECSE department in terms of their classes that use the computer network, and we have several people that are doing IC design, circuit design, and I maintain all the tools that are built, that are used in classes and in research programs here. So, and one more thing, I like ice skating. I go up to the field house whenever I can, just because it's a good way to burn off a little steam. So.
All right, so does anyone have any questions for myself, Rama, your faculty advisors?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm easy to get a hold of, and I'm here a lot. I'm hardly ever not here, let's put it that way.
Awesome. Well, I'll ask one question on behalf of the students because I get it a lot and want to make sure I'm giving them a good answer. So I've had a lot of students ask about research and that a lot of them are interested in it but don't know how to approach, how to get started. So being in the department, what advice would you have for students who might be interested in doing that during their 4 years? Either or both.
Okay, I can answer that question. So, yeah, I do. Many students come, explain to me they really want to do research. I would say do research first to start with you really know something, right? So then the first thing will be take your courses, get a good grades. So basically you need to know the material. So that's why most professors would like to offer some research position, or take you to the lab, or maybe when you were like the third year and the fourth year. But in the first 2 years, they will consider you primarily probably do some, like taking your courses. You don't have the knowledge base or focus to do any like important research yet. But that means you can contact a professor, right? So I think, so first thing is take your course and get good grades. So that's make you more like appealing when you go to talk to a professor, when you're looking, say, I'm interested in this project. Two is, go talk to the professor. So, send an email and say, okay, I take your course and I really like the topic. Do you have any research project that is suitable for undergrad that I can be part of? Not all professors have the like position for undergrad to participate in the research, but some do. For example, my lab, we constantly accommodate undergrad students. Maybe we don't have offer students hourly pay, but we can. What we can do is students can engage in the undergrad research either by take like a credit. I know RPI offer the research credit. Okay, it's kind of like a count towards your graduation, or you can just do some volunteer work, which will enrich your resume, right? So make it more like competitive when you graduate looking for jobs. So that's the best way. Right now, I have actually 2 students. One is undergrad, one is master's student working in my labs, just help out. For example, we are doing optical machine learning project, which involves a lot of instrumentation. Okay, that doesn't require too much very specific background. So students need to be kind of like hands-on. So we have, but still need to kind of like understand somewhat about optics. So that's only requirements we had for students. So the advice for you is 1, taking the course. 2 is talk to the professor. Okay, and the 3 is possibly register as like a research project to get the credit for that.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The other thing, we do have several centers, bigger centers that are doing research in cross-departmental work, and they do advertise for undergraduates at different points, and so just pay attention, or just go to the centers, find out. I can give you a list of some of the ones that are doing. There's image processing, virtual reality, there's the lighting center, the smart lighting center, and there's robotics. So there are some bigger centers that are usually looking for people too.
Awesome. And then just to make sure it's clear, so we had all your contact information. Would you both say the best way students should get in touch with you if they want to meet is through email or coming to office hours? What do you prefer?
Email is probably the best way to at least set something up. I'm around, so you can pop in and just see if Generally, if I'm not doing something or if I'm not putting out a fire, I will talk to you and spend some time. But email's good if you want to just guarantee that I can respond and say, all right, let's set up a time for tomorrow at 3 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, I'm the same. I have generally open door policy, so like most of the time when I was in my office now busy with something, catch a deadline or so, my door will be open. So if you have a quick question, so just a few minutes, welcome to stop by, just chat with me. But if you do have a little bit of longer question, maybe you require a little bit more time, so then the best way is to send me an email. So then we'll just set up time. So in case you don't get the answer for the email, just send it again, in 24 hours. Just because every day I got so many emails, sometimes it's just overlooked. So just don't think I don't want to meet you or anything, just because I overlooked, just send again, yeah.
Just a warning, you don't have to worry about it this year, but other years when you do need the SAM, Student Advisor Meeting, don't wait till the last day of registration and then send me an email saying, I need to set up all this stuff because I might not be available. I might have class that day or lab and be gone for 3 or 4 hours. So just plan ahead. It makes it a lot easier.
That's good advice for this year too.
Very, very important. Yeah, I have that too. Sometimes students ask me, say, oh, I need to do my SAM requirement, because my ticket open in 3 hours, I need to re-get on that course, otherwise the seat will be gone. But that day I may even travel. So then I said, okay, the best way I can offer is to do a phone call. So then, that's not really very optimal condition. Yes, try to make appointments a week ahead of the SAM to try to clear your SAM requirement. Absolutely.
Yes, very good advice. Any other questions? Is that a hand or just a stretch? Okay, no worries.
One comment I would make is that I do like students that have 4 years already planned ahead. I don't know how much that's being stressed anymore at
Yes.
different places.
So in the email everyone got, I want to say it was January now, but when I emailed you all about the SAM meeting, that had a reference to our website. So if you don't want to dig back in your email, on the Hub website, we do have a 4-year plan Excel sheet. So if you download that, it has the 4-year template straight out of the catalog for every engineering major. So I ask that when you come for your SAM meeting, just come with an attempt. It's okay if some of it's wrong. It's okay if you don't know what you want to take for your free electives and technical electives, especially for those 4,000 ECSE classes. I by no means expect that you know what you want to do for those yet. It's basically just to make sure that you've mapped out kind of where you expect to take certain credits so that you know what's to come. So again, rough attempt. If it's an Excel spreadsheet, that's fine. If it's paper, that's fine. I'm pretty flexible with format, just whatever you will use.
And it can always be changed in most
Yes,
cases.
very much.
So you're not committed to anything, but it's just nice to have a path to graduation.
Yes.
Rather than 4 years and you're dead-ended and you found out that you're missing a lot of things.
Yeah, right. That's very good advice, yes. And when we lay out the 4-year plan of the curriculum, we already take into consideration which course should take first, which course should take later. Because some of the courses maybe serve as a prerequisite for a later course. So then we would recommend you to follow the, maybe not exactly, but kind of like sequence. If you are on the 4-year schedule, but if you're on 3-year schedule, that means many of the first-year classes you probably can kind of like skip or don't have to take. Then you just start from maybe year 2. So, but sequence is important. Yeah, we do have the prerequisite requirements.
Yes.
For many courses.
Circuits is a big one. Which,
yeah.
if you've met with me, I've told you. So, awesome. Any other questions for the good of the order? All right, well, I know it was mandatory, but still, thank you all for coming. So, I'm sure we will all be up here for a little while, so if you want to come approach with individual questions, that's more than welcome, but otherwise, please eat some of these snacks. I do not want to have to pack them up, and enjoy the rest of your nights.